19. This is the generally accepted number of coup or coup attempts Thailand has suffered since 1932. It is one of the greatest mysteries of Southeast Asia. How could Thailand, a relatively prosperous and modernized nation, be so prone to an event typically associated with more impoverished nations? What if the answer to this mystery lay nearly 150 years in the past? The link between Thailand's coup season and Siamese westernization during the colonial era? This time on the History Report. To understand how a Siamese monarch's 19th century program of westernization could have influenced Thailand's rash of military coups, we must first explore the structure and history of the modern Thai military, the force responsible for nearly every successful coup. One of the most striking features of the Thai military is its top-heavy command structure and entanglement in Thai political affairs. Since the 1932 revolution responsible for the overthrow of absolute rule in Siam, the military has had a dominating presence in civilian political affairs. It often justifies the involvement in political affairs by citing its role as a political guardian, striving to end the corruption and instability present in the current government. It has also taken concrete steps to back up its claims. A 1980 order from Prime Minister Tinsulanonda created military-sponsored programs which educated citizens on elections and proper voting. It also proclaimed that the primary focus of government forces should be developing Thai democracy. The military's legitimization of itself as a guardian of stability in times of political and economic crisis seems to be a primary cause of Thailand's massive number of political coups. One scholar writes how the nation's armed forces appear to have rationalized their capacity to aid the people of Thailand, allows it to aid the people against any threat, including government incompetence. This has significantly lowered the barrier to military intervention in Thai politics, as the military can legitimize its actions by citing its history of restoring order to a nation marred by a weak and divided government.
และนำความสงบสุขกลับคืนสู่ประชาชนทุกกลุ่มทุกฝ่ายโดยเร็วจึงอาศัยอำนาจตามความ
The commander's statement was supported by many Thai citizens who believed the military would bring back stability to their lives.
I feel better that everything will be back in order. We can go back to work normally and everything will fall back into place.
But how did King Mongkut and his successors attempt to modernize the kingdom under the threat from colonial invasion, lead to military domination of Thai politics nearly a century later? The story of Siam's military westernization began with the grave threat from the colonial powers of Britain and France, which had made significant territorial gains in the regions bordering Siam. King Mongkut, or Rama IV, responded to these imperial threats with a program of westernization which began to radically reshape Thai culture, government, and especially the military. The monarch advocated creation of the Royal Siamese Army in 1852, and brought in many Western advisors to staff it. Mongkut's son, Rama V, ramped up these reforms, creating permanent military commands and a navy. This new influx of military manpower and infrastructure necessitated the creation of a coordinating military bureaucracy, unprecedented in size and influence, and the education of a new class of army officers and bureaucrats to fill it. Rama V responded to this need with the establishment of the Royal Military Academy in 1887, one of the first institutes of higher learning founded in Siam. This education put military officers into an elite class, much more exposed to and interested in politics than the average commoner. It was this new politically enlightened class that would instigate Siam's first coup attempt, the Palace Revolt of 1912. The Palace Rebellion of 1912, carried out by a group of disgruntled military officers educated by new Western-style military academies and law schools, issued an unprecedented military challenge to the Siamese monarchy. The 91 plotters were disillusioned with the monarchy after its showing of favoritism toward a military unit outside the traditional royal army, the Wild Tiger Corps, and the country's massive amount of debt. Many of the plotters demanded radical institutional changes such as the implementation of a constitutional monarchy and even republic. These demands previously had only been made by princes and other officials who had traveled abroad to Europe. Although this group was close to the king, they were unable to convince the all-powerful monarch to implement their desired reforms. It was only after educated military officers with the means to overthrow the state displayed a willingness to rebel that the monarchy began to seriously consider governmental reforms. It revealed that the impetus for a coup now existed among the military elite. 19th century military Siamese westernization put the nation's military officers into a new elite class, one of which has access to a politically enlightening education. This access opened the minds of these officers to both their status as the protectors of Siamese society and the flaws of the absolute monarchy. These two notions influenced the officers to act on their own discontent with the policies of the Siamese monarchy in the Palace Revolt. This event in turn inspired the 1932 events that would enthrone the Thai military as the dominant political actor in the nation.